Shalom. Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakorash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone, who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations unto the elect. And this is an impromptu in the news. Just pretty much got a few things I wanted to bring out off the top. No preparation. I saw this, was sent into the chat. But I've been traveling all day, so I haven't had time to really check everything. But as you can see here, Charlie Kirk, all right, this individual who goes around debating, on the streets now. It's the new thing where these individuals go to college campuses, and you have guys like, Myron from Fresh and Fit, going out on the streets and actually debating people on topics. And he speaks heavily against the alphabet community. And he's in league with, Trump. He's a MAGger from what I remember. Has some funny content. Says some things that make sense. But of course, he's about America being made great again. And as he was at this particular speaking debate, I don't know exactly what it was, but as you can see the title, which I'm not going to play this video. It's out there though, but the American Comeback Tour. So he's doing the American Comeback Tour, going to college campuses, debating, these airheaded students and people who are pro, trans, pro this, pro that, And he was asked the question, how many, trans mass shooters have there been in America? He said too many. And then he linked it with gang violence, and that's pretty much what's happening here. As you see, our people have been thrown in the bunch with the likes of the Labiquita community and the rest of the undesirables and the crazies, and the people that this Donald Trump regime they're pretty much against, and they're waging war against all these things. But right after he linked it with gang violence, the trans mass shooters, he was shot in the neck and blood came gushing out. All right. And we are in some very, very interesting times, man. Okay. Could he have been a martyr that they set up? Because, they're moving fast. All right. There's a lot happening. We just seen yesterday or the day before where Jake, basically took a lily white dove back to the spirit world, and a Ukrainian at that. As a matter of fact, there's all kind of content on it, and that's driven the these maggers mad. Okay, you have this situation here, and anytime you see a white woman that looks like this with the blonde hair and that so-called look where she's supposedly Ukrainian, and you see Jake harming her, all right, that's gonna really ruffle the feathers of the Edomites. Okay, and they're all up in arms. You see, there's another school shooting. We'll show you that, but and of course we know there's crime everywhere, but the things that they're putting in the media are, pretty much putting our people as the new face of terror. Okay, and it's just all hell breaking loose in Babylon. This thing is slipping apart. Let's get a scripture real quick. Okay, this is why it's time for our people to repent. This is why, being in a reprobate, simple spirit, looking back, worried about your happiness. Look, man, happy times ain't coming, man. You need to be worried about being covered through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Our rest and our happiness has to be in prophecy being fulfilled, man. See, this world is crumbling and collapsing. the faith that we have is rooted in the world to come. So this is why it says in Jeremiah 51 and 45, my people, go ye out of the midst of her. All right? Meaning flee Babylon spiritually, man. This thing is not going to go well. If your hope is in a future here, and it's only going to end in disappointment. Of course, you handle your business. You go to work. You got a business. You do what you can. Okay, if you can get a better job, get a better job. As long as it doesn't come at the expense of the work, or you have to compromise your integrity. Whatever you can do here in this kingdom, put forth your hands to do it. And reap the benefit. A paycheck. You're just here to get your daily bread and get the hell up out of here. But to be engulfed in, voting and, hoping for a better future here, that's not going to happen. You're only going to disappoint yourself. Many people are finding out the American dream, all right, was a nightmare. And as we can see, the elites, as they continuously get caught, all right, you have the Epstein victims, so-called, coming out, which everything here is a psyop, okay? But, the more and more they get exposed, the more the shootings and crazy situations pop up, all right? And, some months ago, they were being pressured about the Epstein files. Now, the narrative has turned to we have to get these niggers, all right, out of, our kingdom pretty much. They're the biggest problem, okay? Esau is the mass mind manipulator, man. He's very good at it. And just like that, all right, this guy just gets, popped at a speaking in the neck. And supposedly they found the shooter and then they didn't find him. Okay, with all of this surveillance technology and Palantir, he should have been found and there should already be a picture of him up. So my people, go ye out of the midst of her and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. The Lord is getting ready to bring some very, very detrimental and extreme situations to this earth. There's spirits of vengeance out here. Okay, the food is heavily tainted and polluted. You can eat a potato chip and grow a tumor and just be checked out the next day. Parasites. All right, there's so many ways that the Lord could take you out. All right, not to say that if you believe you ain't, it's not a possibility you go back to the spirit world, but you don't want to be judged by the Heavenly Father, man, because he's angry with this place. And all of these things we're seeing are associated with his anger. Lest your heart faint and ye hear and you fear. Let me read it in the NLT. It says, do not panic. Don't be afraid when you hear the first rumor of approaching forces. Okay, the troops coming to these hoods. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about martial law. We've been talking about, rumors of wars. There's been constant rumors of all of these things happening. All right, for rumors will keep coming year by year. Violence will erupt in the land as the leaders fight against each other. All right, and they're saying that the person who shot this guy, let's go back. I got a few things. The person who shot this guy, all right, Charlie Kirk, all right, a conservative activist who was shot in Utah, of all places. Okay, and Trump has addressed it. Okay, Trump has addressed it, man. Okay, let's see if we can pull that up. This is what Trump said. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States is better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially by me. And now he is no longer with us. Millennia and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife and family. Charlie, we love you. And that's crazy that, all of that, debating and talking, and that's how your legacy ends, getting popped. And this is him You probably saw him on YouTube. All right. His legacy just ends, getting popped, and now it's all over the internet, man. These are the times we living in where, deaths like this are just, circling the internet, man. Remember, you had Trump, all right, get someone attempted supposedly to get him out of there. And again, these things are going to be used, all right, to pass legislation, all right, to take away rights, to heavily surveil, and to bring about the digital beast MOTB system, man. These are the means they're going to go to get there. Okay, let's bring up another article. Okay, now we see that this happened here, right? This is another thing that happened. You had this Jake, okay, off this lily white dove, right? Just stood up and I'm guessing stabbed her. Okay, and this got the Edomites going crazy. And see, we told you we're in a time where Esau, okay, is tapping back into that pseudoscience. Okay, look at when we told you when Esau starts, because that happening has Esau angry. All right, whenever you see a so-called white woman with blonde hair get harmed by a Jake, the Edomite race doesn't take to. They don't like that. Okay, and as you can see here, Elon Musk said incarcerating a small number of repeated violent criminals would vastly improve public safety. Okay, and that guy was supposedly a repeated offender who got let out by some Jake judge, and now this is what he's doing. This is what he did. But as you can see, look at the comments. If you stop a violent black man, you make the news. If you are a violent black man, you don't. So the E is making himself the victim through these particular happenings. Okay. You see the statistics. They popping up with the statistics. Isn't it weird how pit bulls, 10% of the dog population, commit 66 of all dog attacks? They're talking about Jake being so-called 12 or 13% of the population committing the majority of the crimes. Okay. Got this Jake here who raped a 4-year-old. It's just a sick world, man. This is some bullshit. 59,778 white on black violent crimes compared to 547,000 black on white crimes. Adjusted for population size, black people commit violent crimes against white people at a rate, all right, 41 times higher than that of the reverse. Screenshot that. I think I posted it in my post yesterday, man. It's been so much happening. All right, mental health crisis, which that's what the Edomite has been labeled when he goes crazy, mental health crisis, or mental health, and then you had this Edomite choke this Jake out who was tripping on the train, and they called it racism, So Esau is getting back into those statistics. Look at the statistics. Blacks are virtually the only demographic group in the United States that faces the justice system less often than their share in the overall crime rate would suggest. In other words, detection and conviction rates for violent crimes among black criminals remains disproportionately and radically low. So they're just going in. Look, and did not we tell you that they were going to do this? They got the grids and the statistics. This is how you know Esau. Okay, because we talked about last night. Esau Edom feels the heat pretty much. He knows there's a target on his back. He's being called out left and right. There's a shameful spewing on his glory. So basically, they're coming to the stand with their testimony, and their testimony is to point the finger at niggas being criminals and thugs. Okay, so they're going to those statistics, and this is what they do before they attack. They start pulling out these statistics. Okay, um, and they just start pointing the finger at you. And we brought it out yesterday that the accuser is going to come down with great rap. Synonymously, you got Jake, right? You got Jake in Chicago. Okay.
Something. Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang. Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different breed out here, nigga. We are not Los Angeles. Nigga, we are not Washington, D.C. This is Chicago. Go fight back. I'm telling you, go fight back, gang. Whatever, I don't give a f*** what you talking about. Them young switches, gang. They not going for that, bro. I know a bunch of y'all finna say, oh, it's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it. They must go in Chicago. Do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro? There are over 100,000 gangs in Chicago by the city by itself, gang. Man, Trump talking about something.
Which is why the troops are coming in that MFR. And see, Jake think they really good. And Jake ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Jake, whenever E comes, Jake straightens up or march. But when it comes to their own people, yeah, that's when they're gonna do something. They're not gonna do nothing to these troops. These troops go beat your ass. They're trained for situations like this, and they're waiting on you Israelites, you Jakes, to try to get carnal with them. They're waiting on the day you think you're gonna go hand in hand with them with the sword. See, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. See, the way we destroy the devil, okay? 1 Corinthians 10, I believe. Let's get that real quick. 2 Corinthians 10. 2 Corinthians 10 and 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. And Jake really think that, Jake is getting ready to lose, man. Okay? And we're all for it. Again, the scriptures say horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation, man. We're for the elect. And if you so say believe in this truth and you going to bat for Pookie and Ray Ray and, Crips, Bloods, Thugs, niggas who are out in the world committing iniquity, oppressing the elderly, shooting and, forwarding the image of the beast, all right, being created and walking in the image of the beast. If you fighting for them and crying for them, then you got demons on you. Okay? We all came in with a soft spot for Jake, but there came a point where we learned, all right, that this is prophecy. Jake gotta pay, and you see how absolutely rebellious and wicked they are. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. See? And people don't see the power in what we're doing. They don't see the power of speech. They don't see the power of prophecy. They don't see power in being covered under the blood of Yahweh Shai. So he's going to give them up to their own devices, and good luck fighting those troops. Okay, you got technology where they can be 100 miles from your ass and press a frequency button and your ass have a heart attack and drop dead. See? Our power, and see this is why Esau is going crazy like this, because of the word. The reason why you're seeing all of these, shootings and false flag, all of these things are happening because he's trying to figure out a way to get control of this word, because he's lost control of the narrative. There's a shameful spew, and he's being exposed left and right, especially those small hats, right? So now it's just violence everywhere, and they can point the finger at this person, that person, and then all of a sudden the spotlight is no longer on them. But see, the angels are watching these devils, man. And you put the camera in front of the 2/3, of course, people are gonna, look at these niggas. That's what they're gonna say. But that's not ultimately gonna work on the elect. So you're accusing, right? ain't gonna work because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. We ain't trying to get carnal with you, right? We ain't filming ourselves rolling down hills, getting sprayed with mace and fighting and training. Although we train, we work out, we take care of ourselves to the best of our ability, but we ain't preparing to fight you devils, man. We know we can't win that fight. Okay, even if you get into a one-on-one with an Edomite and win, all right, what good does that do? Okay, we waiting on the Lord to come back, man. So mighty through the pulling down of strongholds, and the stronghold, all right, are these false arguments, these false lies. Let's look up the word stronghold. I'm a little all over the place, but there's so much happening because there's a few other articles I got. The word for stronghold.
Strong's G 3794. Ahurama. Ahurama.
A fortress. Anything which one relies, and Esau relies on pseudoscience. Okay, of the arguments and reasonings by which a disputant endeavors to fortify his opinion and defend it against his opponent. And what is Esau throwing out there against Jake? That he's a thug, that he's a savage, that he's a monster, that he's the face of terror. Okay, and yeah, the 2/3 do fall under that category to a degree. You see, but ultimately we're tearing down your pseudoscience. We're tearing down your whole lies. We're bringing out the truth of who you are through testifying. So it's got you devils going crazy, and this is how you beat the devil, man. In the spiritual sense, he can't fight a spiritual battle. He damn sure can fight a carnal one, though. Okay, so ultimately, in the NLT, we use God's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments. Okay, false arguments, pseudoscience, all these stupid ass statistics that they pull out of their ass. Even the concept of Jake being a minority and Esau being the majority is just a lie. It's not true. And that's their go-to. The minority, this 13% of the U.S. population does the majority of the crime. Okay? Not to say Jake doesn't do crime. It says casting down imaginations and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringeth into captivity every thought, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai. And this is ultimately what's going to happen. This is what ultimately is going to come of this when the kingdom comes. Every knee will bow, but Jake thinks that he's going to somehow fight these troops with his little pistols pointing sideways. Y'all gonna lose that battle, man. Okay, this ain't Clone Tyrone. Niggas ain't gonna win that part. That was a movie, dog. Niggas ain't gonna come together and beat E at his game with the sword.
By itself, gang.
Man, Trump talking about something. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. You about to find out why it's called direct. Goofy ass. We ain't scared of this shit. Quiet part out loud.
Now the dude is on camera. These dudes are putting themselves on camera saying this. Don't you know you can what they can roll on your ass and say ultimately you're threatening crime against the government?
Yo, it's wild. The culture and what's happening in these
Fair use.
cities like Chicago is worse than we previously thought. There are people that are online that are basically warning Trump about the National Guard and or the military actually appearing in the city of Chicago. And they think that the young bulls over there or the gangsters and all of that. And I seen this one lady, maybe I'll do a separate review video to it. I seen this one older lady, and she was saying that the Crips and the Bloods is coming together in order to, fight against ICE. And I'm not really sure if y'all understand what y'all saying Number one, you cannot make a threat on the president of the United States of America. I'm not sure where y'all been at and how y'all think that this is going to fly in any shape.
So the Lord is choosing their delusions because that sword is sharpened, it's furbished. Let's get that. It's in the book of Ezekiel 27, I believe. Crazy times, man. And the 2/3, good luck. Good luck. Ezekiel 21. Ezekiel 21 and 9. NLT. Son of man, give the people this message from the Lord. A sword is being sharpened and polished. Okay? It is sharpened for a terrible slaughter and polished to flash like lightning. Now will you laugh? Jake just laughing, playing. Okay? Those far stronger than you have fallen beneath its power. The Lord has given the power of the sword to your enemy, and you think you're going to fight against him with his blessing? Okay, all of you tough guy Israelites. Okay? Have at it. The one when we would get on Jake, for being out there with guns, when we would get on Jake for being carnal on camera, you would have weirdos, okay, with two little, fringe t-shirts. Y'all niggas are cowards, man. Y'all just scared. Okay. Okay. Where the Sicarii at? Where them guys at? Where all of this tough guy talk at? The troops coming to the hood, so y'all go preach in front of them. Let's see the tough guy shit. Y'all ain't gonna do a goddamn thing, and those monsters in Chirac, okay, are gonna be destroyed, man. And any thug nigga, man, you low self-esteem, weirdo thugs and YNs, man. Y'all gotta go. The sword is now being sharpened and polished and being prepared for the executioner. Son of man, cry out and wail, pound your thighs in anguish, for that sword will slaughter my people and their leaders. Everyone will die. Okay? It will put them all to the test. What chance do they have? What chance do you think you have against that sword? Because y'all are being led to the slaughter. Y'all are being led to the slaughter, man. And your enemy is ready. Okay? The only way to stop America from being destroyed is arrest the ones destroying it. And they ain't talking about the politician. They talking about Jake. Okay? Y'all been led into that democratic snare. Right? There's another thread. Let's see here. I believe this is it. Yeah, this is Trump addressing we cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeated offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. And look at the responses. Okay, no, I can't play that. I can't play that. Hold up. I'm not going to play that. But ready to roll on y'all. It's time to rise up against these preventable crimes. All right. And this is coming at the time of, the Gideon technology, Palantir. Right? And it's only going to lead to more surveillance and more of a crackdown, man. White privilege, the ability to suffer whatever life throws at you without blaming another ethnic group. So they're saying basically all you niggas do is sit around and cry about what white people did years ago, nigga. Get over it. Look at what you all are doing now. And let's not act like Jake and the spirit that they're in has nothing to do with their history here. It has a big part to do with it, and it has a big part to do, all right, with the culture they were given. You see? But the bottom line is now the truth is out there. They had a chance to repent. They had a chance to turn themselves around. All right, but the Lord put a strong delusion on the 2/3. Didn't do nothings. Okay, and this is why they gave you George Floyd. So anytime you did complain, try to stand up for yourself, they could say you niggas are just retarded, man. They gave George Floyd a statue. That dude was a damn monster. His track record wasn't. It wasn't no angel. It was a damn monster, man. We had a brother who knew someone who was close to him. A crackhead. A knock, as we call him in Oakland. Right? Didn't do nothings. He was a good boy. You know, these are the memes, you know, that is basically saying the real criminals ain't being dealt with. This is why America is falling down the drain. Black privilege, the ability to break every law in the country and still remain the victim. See that? And they just going in. They going in. They're mad. Now, this is what I wanted to get to. See if I can bring it up. Look at that monster there. Vandalizing churches. The 2/3 are falling, man. But this check this out. Black Lives Matter, which is a psyop, okay, to basically accuse you more and more, right? Set up by your enemy. Black Lives Matter says oppressed people have the right to violence following the murder of Irina Zarutska. An official Black Lives Matter account has defended the suspect in a Charlotte train stabbing. Now, and there's something fishy about that stabbing, but, it is what it is, man. But for now, how would you defend that? The Lord didn't give us the go ahead, but now we know there's going to be spirits of vengeance, and this is all prophecy. But what type of leader would stand up and defend that? That they're leading you to the slaughter. They're setting you up to be absolutely eviscerated and pummeled and punished by these troops. Okay? Once they see a face like this harmed, back in the day, women like this would flirt with Jake and then say he whistled at her or raped her, and they would, just lynch Jake. They don't take too kind to you playing with their women, and they already mad that their women want Jake anyway. So now you have a Black Lives Matter leader, all right? An official Black Lives Matter account has defended the suspect in Charlotte train stabbing, saying oppressed people have a right to violence. Come on, man. See, this is why we need to stick to Yahweh Shai, because there's a lot of sheep, wolves in sheep's clothing out there that are ultimately going to lead our people to destruction, man. Okay, the BLM Instagram post came in response to the news saying, we have a right to violence. All oppressed people have a right to violence. I'm going to tell you something. It's like the right to pee. You got to have the right place. You got to have the right time. You got to have an appropriate situation. And I'm absolutely convinced that this is it. Okay. And this could be just a setup. And the world is looking. E is looking at this. So expect more racial tension. All right. Because this is a divide and conquer. Now, we know there's going to be enmity and hatred between Jacob and Esau, but your elites, just like in the first Purge, that movie, when there wasn't enough violence and things happening, they sent agent provocateurs out there to do things to ante it up. This is crazy. And there's a lot of agents out there, man. Because ain't no way a leader would condone this. As the scriptures say, let's get it in so it's all kind of shit happening, man. We in some very crazy time. Let's get 2nd Esdras 15. Let's get 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. In the 5th verse, behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. We're witnessing all of those. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay, this age is just about up. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. And whose wickedness? The wickedness of the Edomites, the wickedness of these nations, the wickedness of the 2/3. And the tongue of the Lord is fulfilled through Yahushua and the prophets. Okay, so the Lord is no longer holding his tongue by sending his prophets out. Okay, and coming into this truth and being hidden under the banner of the Lord is hiding yourself. Because Jake is gonna get caught up in all of this. Jake get, the BLMers, the Jake who are all of y'all, the maggers, y'all gonna all get caught up in this bloodbath that's about to take place. And y'all ain't gonna have the blood of Yahushua, so y'all gonna be confounded. Neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. All right, we're living in a worldwide pedal ring. Okay, everything's jacked up. The foundations of the earth are all out of course because of the rulers. Everybody's in debt. Fake food, disease, warfare, everything. This is the things the elites of this world exercise themselves in, but they have an agenda now, okay, to point the finger at Jake, and that's gonna get them their victory and their way out of their judgment. No, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Amongst all of this, you have the elect. See? And we're going to need that divine intervention. We're going to need our names to be written in heaven. That's where the victory comes, man. Being chosen from the foundation of the earth. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto be all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. So see, our people are being led as a flock to the slaughter. See that? So now the Lord is going to deliver his elect. But the rest of you, he's going to give you up to the Edomite. See, he's going to gather his elect, but he's going to give the 2/3 of our people Psalms 125. Man, everybody getting ready to lose. Except the elect. Psalms 125:3. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth his hands into iniquity. Okay? And that's what our people are doing. These thugs, these YNs, black culture, gang culture. Do good, O Lord, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts. Okay? And let's not forget who's at the forefront of gang culture, who's at the forefront of drug culture, who's at the forefront of gun violence and all of that, drug dealing. Okay? There's no greater drug dealer than Edomites, the elites. There's no greater thief than the elites. There's no greater murderer than the elites. As for such, so the Lord said, do good unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts. So that's who we're calling for the Lord to cover. As for such as turn aside unto their wicked ways, the Lord shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity. But peace shall be upon Israel. So the Lord is going to allow our people to be devoured. You see? But the Lord is ultimately, he's seeing how our people are being led to a slaughter. And some of them are going to be led, but he's going to deliver some of them because they're going to put us in this mess too. It'll put us in this mess too, man. Let's see here. There you go. Let me go back here. So, yeah, they're setting y'all up. See here. There was another school shooting too. See here. And Israel just keeps on, bombing. Women, children, man, won't give a damn who it is, but the biggest thug or the biggest, pusher of sedition and issues in this kingdom is Jake. But it's all good, man. It's all good, man. It's World War III about to start in Europe, There you go, another school shooting. Shooting at Evergreen High School in Colorado. It's like Colorado, does Colorado lead the league in school shootings? God damn. 3 critically hurt. So, again, like it says here, now we know this is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, but we know that which is then is now. This is Daniel 8:25. And through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And his craft in these days, which this is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, we got to clarify that when we bring out Daniel 8:25. Don't just read it, because you have to clarify that this is talking about the Greek captivity with Antiochus, but we use it to tie because the same spirit is in these Edomites today. Okay? America is pretty much a revival of the Greco-Roman beast system, man. Okay? Daniel 8:25, and through his policy he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace, okay, he shall destroy many. So he's going to use the talking point of peace. When they shall say peace and safety, as the scriptures say, he's going to use the talking point of peace as a means to destroy many. And he's even going to fight against, all right, Yahweh Shai. You see? So everywhere you look, you're seeing chaos. Everywhere you look, you're seeing some sort of shooting, and it's being put right in your face because, again, this is a psychological operation like we talked about on that one channel. The psychological operation being waged on the American people. Okay? Yeah, nobody going to church no more. Okay, people losing jobs, earthquakes everywhere. Yeah, so Israel gives order for a full evacuation of Gaza City. They could get out. So I just wanted to update on those things. I mean, it's more. Let's see. But very interesting times, man. Crazy times. But again, as you can see, Jake is going into his statistics. I mean, E is going into his statistics. So that all fulfills this one scripture, man. Revelation chapter 12 and 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Okay, and this is ultimately what he does. He accuses the brethren. That's his role. Okay, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. That's the only way, all right, to get out of the grips of Esau's, not to say none of us won't, get beheaded or go to, get thrown into camp. Who knows what can happen, but ultimately, no matter what happens to the elect, they overcome. Because when Yahushua returns, you're going to be in good graces. You're going to rise first and be beamed up, or you're going to be alive and get beamed up. Okay? There's no way to lose if you're of the elect. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. So, the elect have the testimony, the blood of Yahushua, and a mindset to never turn their backs on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So all of this accusing is not going to make them budge, because he's coming with an accusation, man. Okay, he got the set leaders and puppets to say and do things. You got fake Israelite camps. Okay, and we're gonna be caught in the midst of all of this, man. Okay, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down into you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. Okay? Well, this is where we are. We get some rest. But this is where we are, man. Salaki, I'm a little tired. You'll see me out Saturday. I'm not going to be out Friday. You'll see me out Saturday with the Seattle camp, Lord willing. But here we are. Here we are, man. So just wanted to report on that. This dude just got blasted, dog. And the shit is right is right there on the news in front of you. I mean, not on the news, but you go to X, they show it. It's crazy. But I remember this guy. So interesting times. More is coming. They're gonna have more of their martyrs set up to get taken out, and E is going to ultimately say enough is enough. And as it says here in Revelation 12 and 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, because that's really what it is, man. Jake is getting ready to get his blessing. Jacob, the Israelites, the elect. So they're trying to taint it by, just trying to present us all as savages and monsters and thugs and criminals. But really, he's responding to this inquisition, this testimony against his ass. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, the red dragon, Esau, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahushua. See that? So hopefully y'all edified. On to the next. Shalom.